What is going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm back again in the Bronx, New York. And this time I'm going to explore the surrounding areas over here by West Farm Square. And I'm probably going to make it to Crotona to see what's going on. Don't know really much about the neighborhood, but I see a lot of developments happening over here, so I'm going to check it out and take you guys with me, so join me. So the last video that I filmed in the Bronx was in Westchester Square in Parkchester, and I went through East Tremont Avenue. Well, East Tremont Avenue goes right here, and you see a new development right by the train. So we're gonna merge to the right to see what's going on. Subway line is over here, and this neighborhood is served by the 5 train and the 2 train. Mostly express. It's a little bit windy today, so I don't know how the quality is gonna be. But let's see what the neighborhood has to offer. You know, I think it's pretty much residential, standard. So we're gonna explore around, you know, off the beaten path to see what's going on. So one of the reasons I came here and it sparked my curiosity was because I was taking the subway line all the way up, and when it was passing this area, I saw some new buildings, some new developments happening over here. So I'm walking around to see what's going on. Seems like they're developing the area. This is like a nice looking building. Not sure if this is one of those lottery buildings they got over there online that you could find in housingconnect.com. Then the subway line is over there, and ahead there's another building. Not sure if it's connected. And there's another building to my right hand. But yeah, something pretty interesting. And then I'm gonna make it to Crotona. You know, East Tremont Street goes over there. And then there is a beautiful park, and you go by Southern Boulevard, which is pretty nice too. So let me see what's happening over here. I'm probably gonna walk around in the square. There goes the subway line. The Bronx Zoo is not far from this neighborhood. But believe it or not, I've never been in the Bronx Zoo, but it's on the other side. So I'm probably gonna walk around and see what's happening over there and see what it looks like. This seems like another new building, or maybe not that new, but still like a developed building right by the subway stop. But so far, not much around the neighborhood. But I'm gonna be merging into some of the streets to see what can I find. And then over here you got, looks like mini houses or something connected all together. At some point it kind of reminds me a little bit when I was exploring the neighborhood of High Bridge, close to the Yankee Stadium. But it could make sense because it's the same borough of the Bronx. So I'm probably gonna walk forward. I'm gonna look at the map to see where else can I merge and what can I discover around. But yeah, look at this. Saw like some houses over here. It literally looks like townhouses in the middle of the city. And like I say, every time I come to the Bronx, it just feels like a community vibe. Like people look out for each other. So that's one thing I like about the neighborhood. So this is East Tremont Avenue, and it seems like if I go more towards Crotona, I guess a little bit busier. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do a block or 2 over here, and then make it right. I'm probably gonna pass like a local park, and I'll end up by the area where the zoo is. But yeah, not much happening over here. And I saw a woman with her Dominican flag. Not sure if they got a Dominican activity over here. Looks like it's mostly a Latino neighborhood. There's a barber shop over there to my right hand. More business over here. Like I say, for some reason it's windy today, so it feels a little bit chillier than the usual. So I guess it gets a little busy if I go ahead. Domino's Pizza. Deli Grocery. Yeah, it's pretty busy over here. So let me just keep going forward to see what can I find. But yeah, I gotta say, liking it so far. Dang, a lot of people, they pass with the music out loud in the cars. So I had to cut out the part so I don't get a copyright, but yeah. I think over here I'm gonna make it right. Walk towards the area where the zoo is. I know I can't get in, but see what it looks like. And then I'll probably make another left and walk all the way to Crotona Avenue and start making it more towards Crotona area to see what's going on. So when you get off the subway stop, there's not really much around, but then when you keep walking forward, then you find something pretty cool, you know, like main streets. That's why I tell you, Google Maps is like the savior of this generation. Back in the days, we didn't have that, so it was a pain in the butt if you wanted to travel somewhere, but yeah. And there's not much going on, just like apartment complex. This building is pretty cool. Might be standard, but it has like that old design. They're renovating a building in the back, or maybe building a building in the back. Not sure. Let me see what else is happening over here. I guess this is a park ahead of me. So yeah, it seems like it's an old building and they're developing it in the back. And then ahead of me is a brand new building. I want to make it right in this one, but let me walk in front of that building. Like I do in every neighborhood in New York, I'll show you like the mix of this old buildings and then the combination when they pop up new buildings. So usually when you see things like that, it means they're trying to change a neighborhood. Sometimes it's not even for the good, you know. It's like a mini little park there with a Puerto Rican, Dominican flag. See some people over there, so it seems like it's a community thing happening over there. Then I walk here a little forward, and this is the building I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it's a nice looking brand new building. Pop up with all these old buildings over here, so that's something that's pretty interesting. And actually to my right hand, I hear them playing dominoes. So that is part of the Latin culture, especially Puerto Ricans. They be chilling over there with their good music. Some of them, maybe they might have a beer and then they be playing like dominoes. And that is hardcore. It's like if you're watching a sport, they're really good at that, so don't debate with them. And over here, pretty cool street with some apartment complex, some houses to my right hand, and a couple of trees ahead. A park here with a basketball court. You'll see that in a lot of neighborhoods in New York City. But we're gonna walk forward to the end of the street, and it has to be a big fence with a lot of nature, which is probably the Bronx Zoo. And I gotta say, this is a really beautiful street. Might not be a big deal, but all these apartments and the trees covering the street, I think it gives it like a nice vibe. And here's another mini park, but it's like they have it abandoned, not much going on. But one thing I noticed about this park, it has a lot of vegetation. And then I think the Bronx Zoo should be over there. Where you see those trees, should be the Bronx Zoo. And if you go all the way at the up, is New York Botanical Gardens. I have yet to be there, but one day I'm gonna go in and explore since I love nature. I think this is the main one here, the Botanical Gardens, because they got one in Brooklyn, they got one in Queens. But even here in the heart of the Bronx, they have it in the Metro North. It literally stops there. So I'm making it back here, and I'm gonna be walking into one of these regular streets to have an idea what it looks like. And I'm probably gonna be exiting West Farms neighborhood and entering the section of Crotona, which I know they got a beautiful park, which is on the other side. But I'm gonna walk over here, see what's happening around the neighborhood, and I'll show you guys. And here it seems like it's another building. Pretty standard, the design they got over here. And another small street, but I think I'm gonna make it ahead to 181st Street, then make another right. I think this goes all the way to the western part of the Bronx. I think we're in the east side, if I'm not mistaken. So let me make a right and see what can I find. So I gotta say, once you make it off the main roads over here, the neighborhood is pretty quiet and pretty residential. Just look at it. Look at this beauty over here, the houses, everything. Then we're gonna walk forward to Southern Boulevard, and then that should be the division of Crotona neighborhood. Also, another neighborhood that's not far from here is Belmont, which holds the original Little Italy in New York City, which is here in the Bronx. And the main street is Arthur Avenue. I made a video there a couple of years ago, but we're gonna walk forward to see what else can we find. So here you can see a high-rise building, Crotona Parkway, and then on the other side is Southern Boulevard, which takes you to other areas in this region of the Bronx, but I'm gonna cross it to the other side, see what's going on. I'm gonna lie, it kind of resembles a little bit Pelham Parkway. The way how the roads are designed with chairs for you to sit down. And there are a couple of recreational parks over here, so I'm gonna try to find them out. But yeah, let's see what's happening ahead. I think if you go forward and you make a right, the Mount section should be around there. This over here should be officially Crotona. And not much happening, but I think I'm gonna make a right over there to see what the street looks like. Then I'll continue down this way. This street over here is pretty interesting. Like it has all the trees over here. And then you see like the houses. Pretty nice, you know, it's not something that you hear much about. Doesn't get much of attention in the neighborhood, but yeah, pretty standard. But I really like the vegetation cover in the road. It makes a neighborhood, you know, pretty interesting. And ahead of me is a tiny park. And I noticed in the map there's a couple of parks around this neighborhood, so I think that's something that's pretty good. So we're gonna check out some of the parks. So here you got a little park, pretty standard, nothing crazy. And then ahead of me is a baseball park. And in this area, a lot of people, they love playing baseball. Remember, you know, New York Yankees is in this ball, the Bronx. So I'm pretty sure some cool players come out of this ball. Then over here it starts getting even nicer. Kind of feels like a semi-suburb with his houses over here and the trees. Tell you, the Bronx is a really massive borough, and so is the whole New York City. So you can take forever exploring every single neighborhood, every single street in the city. But this is what I like to do. I like to go off the beaten path into neighborhoods that don't get much of knowledge. Neighbors that they don't mention too much. You know, I want to check it out, see what's going on. So this is a nice looking backyard in his house. Then the highways building over there. Then a lot of trees. I noticed there's a lot of trees in this neighborhood. Clinton Avenue right here. Then this seems like it's another developed building. Then Crotona Avenue is here. I'm gonna make a left. Probably make it by East Tremont Street. Make another right. And walk towards the anchor. There's gonna be a park over there that I wanna check out. But so far, my thoughts about the neighborhood is pretty nice, you know, pretty residential, you know, just working people going on with their daily lives, you know, nobody messes with nobody. Also, I to respect everybody over here, you know. And this is where you feel the real authentic New York City vibe, like what community looks like. So this is Crotona Avenue, then 180th Street right here, and it goes all the way to the other side. Pretty standard, not much going on over here, but I like the sky, how blue it is. So over here, it gets pretty nicer. The houses, more residential to my left hand. And I think ahead of me is a newly developed building. But yeah, so far, pretty interesting neighborhood. I gotta say, the weather's bipolar. This morning it was like 50-something degrees chilly, but now it got pretty warm and nice. Like I say, it's not officially summer yet, but hopefully in the summer it'll stabilize. We got a new looking building right here in the corner. But then this over here, it's a church, but it still looks nice, the architecture. And this mall over here, you can see in between they developed this building. And like I say, a lot of houses, a lot of apartment complex you'll see in this neighborhood. And what I like about the streets is that they're labeled by order of the numbers, but some of them, they have their names. I think East Tremont should be ahead of me, because that's where I see the crowd of people. And you got the bus here that you can take you all over the city. You know, some business, probably like dollar stores, something you'll see all over New York City. Like, it's so convenient to get products, you know, you don't need a mall. You can just walk in this, you can walk around like walking distance and you'll find something you need. It's East Tremont Street. Kind of resembles a little bit of Fordham. Fordham is always pretty busy and a lot of people, a lot of crowds. This is a little bit more quieter than Fordham, but yeah. Actually, Fordham is not far from here. Once you pass Belmont, you'll end up over there. Then ahead of me is Arthur Avenue, which takes you all the way to Belmont. And they got a Dominican food spot over here. It looks pretty good, the food. And then the park is over here, so I'm gonna cross over here and check out this park. So this is the park here. It's called Walter Galwin Park. So we're gonna walk in and check it out, see what's going on. This is the park here. Pretty standard, not much going on, but hopefully when I go to Crotona Park, I might see some interesting things. Got this over here. I mean, this is a part that can probably do a little better. They need to cut the grass. See some new development going on over here, and it's surrounded by the neighborhood. So walking around here kind of reminds me a little bit of the park in Capitol Hill that I went to Seattle over. There was much crowded than this one. So this one is pretty standard, not much going on. You see the trees, high-rise buildings of the neighborhood here in the Bronx. But the day is pretty beautiful, so I think I'm just gonna keep going to the other side and go check out the other park we got in this neighborhood. So I think I'm gonna make it back to Arthur Avenue, make it right, and head towards the other park that should be probably better and bigger than this one to see what's going on. So that was a cool, interesting local park, but now let's go to the other side. The park should be not too far, and I think there's a bridge over there and the Cross Bronx Expressway passes underneath, so let's go forward. So this over here is the Cross Bronx Expressway. That's the South Bronx over there, also known as 95, which will take you all the way Connecticut, Boston. And you see the regular neighborhood over here. So let's go forward, and the other park should be around here. So here you see the sign, Cross Bronx Expressway to New Haven, Connecticut. This side takes you all the way to north. And if you go in the other way, it'll take you to south. But this should be the park right here, Crotona Park, so let's go check it out. So now I just gotta find my way to the park. I think the park is literally divided in two sides. But this over here looks actually nicer. You see part of the park, and Crotona Avenue is over here, and then the park continues the other side. But then over here, the apartment complex, they look much nicer, like more developed. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this park over here. I think there's like a lake in the middle, so we're gonna walk forward. So this is it, divided by the road. But I think the best part is to my left side, so I'm gonna see where the entrance is, and I'll get in the park and explore around. So, officially made it inside the park, and so far it's pretty nice, so peaceful, quiet. They got recreational activities like a tennis court. I think there's more over that way, so I really don't know where to go. Maybe I'll start walking over here to see what's happening. And this over here seems like an abandoned baseball park. But I think it gets much nicer over here. Wow, look at this vegetation. It's like a mini Central Park here for this neighborhood and the Bronx. So let's go forward to see what can we find. And so far it's pretty interesting and pretty awesome over here. And then I don't think this is a big park, but it has a lot. It's cool how it goes literally down the hill. So let's see what I'm talking about. It's like you literally end up in a place like this in the middle of the concrete jungle of the city. So now I gotta figure where the lake is. So I think that's gonna be like a pretty interesting area. They also got like a outdoor theater over here. So I think they do like concerts or block parties in this neighborhood, because I've seen it online. It's just it's my first time around here exploring. So I can see the lake over there. This over here kind of gives me a little bit of a vibe of Prospect Park in Brooklyn. I even see, I don't know if it's like a kayak. Let me see if I can sneak a little bit forward. Here it is, a lake. But I feel this park has a lot of improvement to do. They should like maintain it a little bit better, you know. It's still pretty cool. I'm probably gonna walk around. Like here, for example, they can cut this grass down so people can just sit here and chill and take a picture with this beautiful nature, you know. And then over there's people in the boats. I guess you can kayak in this mini lake over here. You can see it, but there's two ducks over there just chilling. So this is pretty awesome. Before, I think my favorite thing about exploring the neighborhood is this park. There's a duck over there. Like it's literally, you know, pretty cool. Like if you want to get away from the hustle and bustle, you can come here to the park and chill for a little bit with the beauty of the nature. That's what I like about New York City. No matter what neighborhood you go, there's always like parks. So if you want to escape all the crowd or the concrete jungle, you can come and chill in the park. And especially when the weather's beautiful, it really helps a lot. There's actually a little bridge over there that resembles a mini Central Park. So we're gonna go check it out. And over here you got the stones. And then I think to my right hand is literally probably the theater where they do like concerts. But it's covered with grass. So pretty interesting. And then this is a little bridge that resembles a little bit Central Park. It's crazy how you end up in a park like this and you see literally no buildings. So it makes you feel like if you're in a suburb or something, or in a small town, in a country area, but this is just literally like in the center, in the heart of the Bronx. So it's something that's pretty interesting. And the park keeps going over there. There's actually a playground, and I think the neighborhood should be over there. And they even got like restrooms if you guys gotta go. And then this over here is something different. There's like houses over there. So I'm probably gonna walk over that area to show you guys a little bit. Wow, this is cool. They even got like tables and chairs here, so you can literally just picnic. You can do your picnic over here. This is something pretty awesome. Wow. Like I say, it makes me feel like if I'm outside, like upstate or in Jersey or somewhere else. Yeah, this is really awesome. I like it so far. So I'm really impressed with this park. Really gorgeous park over here. Super, super local. But I want to walk towards this way because I see some houses there surrounded by the trees, and it kind of makes you feel like if you're somewhere else, like it makes you feel like if you're not even in the city. So let's walk forward, probably walk a little bit around, and then I'm probably gonna wrap up the video. this is the ending of the park, and then ahead of me there are like some small town houses that usually you would see it outside the city, not around here. But it's just something pretty interesting. It's like another section here. So it's like this park literally divides the structure of the buildings of different sides of the neighborhood. But yeah, here it is. Some of the lovely houses here surrounded by the trees and the nature. Keeps going over here, so this is literally like another section bordering Crotona. This was nice too. It has like a front area and a nice yard, so pretty interesting, you know. It's pretty interesting and pretty lovely. But yeah, I explored a little bit of this area here in the Bronx, and so far it's pretty good, you know, something different, super local, you know, everybody going on with their lives, you know, doing what they gotta do to survive every day, working class community. And I end up with this beautiful park right here, gorgeous, I love it. Pretty simple, you know, and you have it all to yourself, so I think it's something that's pretty cool. So that was the end of my video exploring West Farm Square and Crotona here in the Bronx. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.